Welcome in Pesky Pull YouTube channel and on the Park Baseball 24 today. I know I've been in a lot of videos here lately, so I wanted to show something that I do sometimes. So this is a new historical game. I want to show, and I'll kind of explain what I'm doing in a second. Let me get this kind of going here first. We're gonna go 95 and do the history. And do that. All right, so a couple things. So let me make fun of what I'm doing first of all. So, I'm on the Facebook forums and all that stuff, and every game scratches different itches. And I hear the constant from people who play out of the park baseball. I don't like it because I played, and Barry Bonds only hit 145 home runs in his career. That's just stupid. It's not realistic. Um, and I always say, well, what are your settings? Okay, what are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals? Out of the park baseball is one of those games you can set up in different kinds of ways. You can make it a what if scenario, or you can make it more to go along with history. I mean, you can kind of set up the way you want to do it. If you set it up one way in which you let the out of the park engine take over. Well, Barry Bonds starts out as Barry Bonds, and he keeps his name the whole time, but he becomes a fictional player with the name Barry Bonds from that point over. He might end up um, like Barry Bonds, or he could end up like I'm trying to pick a second, Ellis Burks. Okay, I mean, so, and that's fun. I mean, that can be fun for people. And people who play what if scenario, especially if you're playing like say like a Tony Canigliaro project. Okay, you want to see Tony C become legendary, hopefully, and that's really cool. Uh, but on the same side of the token, you can also have Carl Yastrzemski become, a guy who gets injured in 1969 and never makes the Hall of Fame. Okay, and that could be cool. Like that's a cool thing there too. So it's how you set things up. So I'm going to set this up in a way. And listen, I made a video just a while ago on the Front Office Football 9 about how I love fictional players, and I do for football, especially for football. I like for baseball too. The difference is I'm a huge baseball fan, and I've got all kinds of favorite players. I don't really have favorite players in football, right? I mean, I have teams I enjoyed watching, and but it's not really football is different. Football is more about the team more than the individual players a lot of times, And so, um, while I like playing fictional players in baseball, I do miss playing with real players in out of the park baseball. So there's a way you can set it up that makes them play like they did in real life, um, going through your dynasty. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna do 95, and I'm starting at 95. I'm gonna run the Red Sox because 95 was kind of the beginning of the Red Sox Yankees rivalry in terms of the modern, back in the 70s, they had one in the 70s, and they had one back in the 40s, Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. And so the 90s it began, 95 through whatever, 2000, I guess eight, you want to put it in there. It's still there now, but it's not the same. So there was that 13-year period, I want to say decade plus period where the Red Sox Yankee rivalry really got going. Of course, 95, the Red Sox won the AL East. The Yankees made their return to the playoffs that year. Derek Jeter came up. And the 90s Yankees were beginning their kind of run. Okay, and so I'm going to take it with the Red Sox from that point on and try to get them a World Series before '04. Okay, so I'm going to do it a little bit different. So first of all, we're going to base current ratings on real stats. Okay, we're going to base potential ratings on remaining years of career. Okay, and so and this will the AI will see this too. Okay, so Current ratings on imported season only. Imported season only. Imported season only. We're going to double the current things in there. Okay, so I'm set up that way. I'm not doing the minor leagues, and I'll explain that in a second why. Okay, we're trying to make this as, and we're doing career play and doing this. All right, so we'll put this in here and load this up. Takes a little bit. Um, but I mean, so back to my point, though, I just want to show that, I mean, out of the park baseball does a lot of things well. It's not my favorite game to play if I'm doing a strict season replay. With as played lineups and all that stuff, it does. I mean, it's not that it does a bad job. Um, but there's other games that I like better for that. Okay. It does really well if you play a single season replay, but then let kind of changes happen in terms of you don't play as play lineups, just let the kind of AI take over. It's fun that way too. So we're gonna do. I'm not doing real am I doing transactions? No, I'm not. So I'm not gonna do transactions, real transactions or real lineups. Okay, so I'm gonna get it. That's gonna the GM mode come there. So the best of both worlds are gonna be the GM mode slash. You're gonna get players to play like they did. Okay. Minor leagues. Um, we'll do some AAA where the stash guys really, but it's not really gonna be a minor league system. All right. So we're gonna automatically expand the league. Yeah, we're gonna do history here. Financial settings, yes. Okay. So here's the big thing. Okay. So this is when people kind of get how they set things up and it doesn't turn out the way they want to. So if I use talent ratings and the OOTP development engine, you're gonna have some variation. You're gonna have Tony Canigliaro maybe become a star. Not I mean not he might not become a star, but he might become a star, like he was a star, but then he got hurt, like a Hall of Famer. And you can have, Yastrzemski become a journeyman, who's out of the league by 1980, by 1975. Okay. Um, you can disable player development for replay leagues. Okay, that's you can do that too as well. Okay. So what I do is I recalculate before each season starts real stats. So uh so I do this one here. Okay, you can do either this one or this one. They really don't change during the season. Okay, so um, and actually, you know what? So this kind of gives you a little variation too, because during the season they could get injured, their ratings could go down for that season and so forth and whatever. But I'm gonna go and do this one. We're gonna disable player development. Okay, but we're gonna play that out career though. It's a career thing. So youth scouting. Um, Here's the ratings. I go 20 to 80 scale. This is all your kind of thing. I don't do the star thing. The star things bug me. All right. So I did this right here. All right. So we'll do, I guess we'll do coaches pictures too. All right. I got that done. I really don't do the scouting. I do scouting for the, because it doesn't really, I'll get back to that. So I don't do scouting because you know who these players are. That's the whole point of this is like, by the back of the baseball cards what they're going to do. All right, so that's more for my fictional leagues and for if you're trying to have guys. So Major League Baseball, I like to kind of make this a little bit harder. I like this trade. This is pretty cool mode. If you haven't tried it out before, that's another video another time. All right, playing commissioner cannot be fired. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna take my Red Sox job. I don't want to get fired from a Red Sox job. I don't need to play in commissioner mode. I don't think right now. I can change all later on. All right, so we'll do that. We're going back to 1995. Boop, ba doop, boop, boop, ba doop. So the trading hard mode's pretty cool. The reputation system, basically, if you start making like crazy ass trade requests to teams, your reputation goes down like you're an idiot, which is pretty cool. How well that works, I haven't tested it enough. I like the idea behind it. The Red Sox, of course, and the Red Sox going back to 95 after the strike. They're doing all the leaderboards for us. That's good, 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 and so forth. All right, so taking a drink. I'm starting to get a cold. Damn, this time of year, this weather. All right, this is almost done. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set things up kind of within the dynasty too. There's some things I do. All right, so here we go on pesky poll. We got the Twins on opening day. So I go into the league settings here. So I go through all these real quick, and a lot of these things are just kind of your personal preference. So I'm not doing scouting, and the reason why, because like the scouting is to tell you how a guy is. I mean, the whole point of this is that we're playing with guys we know, and players we know, and the scouting report is kind of what they did during that year. You know, like Mo Vaughn in '95 is going to be a stud. He's an MVP that year. Now people argue he shouldn't have been the MVP. They Eller Bell should have won it. Okay, but whatever. You know what I mean? So we don't need a scouting report to tell us that. So I turn the scouting off. All right. So we don't need the scouting report. That's cool for the fictional leagues and guys are trying to do those things with. Okay. So I got this done. Use coaching. I don't do owner goals. The owner goals kind of bugs me. I mean, some people like it, but sometimes it doesn't. It's unrealistic. I mean, they'll sit there and tell you you need the like. And I guess I mean your argument is that well you got some dumb owners, which you do. Look at the Panthers owner. Look at George Steinbrenner back in the day. I mean, I'm not saying he was dumb, but he would do some stupid stuff. And so I guess if you want to play, I mean, it's cool that way, but I'd rather not like deal with the stupidity that the dude thinks I need to get an upgrade at third base, and I have a Hall of Fame third baseman. But for some reason he doesn't understand that. I mean, I don't feel like doing that stuff. So, prospects, right? Storylines. I want to do. We'll do storylines, I guess. We'll do storylines. All right. So injuries. Do I want injuries? All right. So this is a big thing too, because this can screw up, but not screw up a season, but it can change the season. So I'm gonna do normal injuries, but long injuries are not allowed. All right. So, um, I'm not gonna have a guy miss a season. Um, but he's gonna miss a week. He's gonna miss 4 or 5 days. He's gonna miss a game. That's in the course of a season. I think I like kind of that idea. You got to miss a start. We got to go ahead and go with Johnny Holstaff one day because we're short a starter and whatever. Whatever. I like that stuff. Suspensions, no, I'm not going to do that. Um, I don't like doing the personality ratings because I don't like the idea that a guy is one way in the out of the park baseball that makes him a different personality. Like it could happen. Like all of a sudden now let's pick a player. Dwight Evans becomes like a malcontent. Like that's not what Dwight Evans ever was. So that makes him mad. So no, we're not gonna do that. Once again, really cool fictional leagues though, when you really get in fictional players, that's really cool to get into that stuff. All right, disable player development. We've got that done. Keep splits, fielding stats. Yes, I love doing this too. This one thing people forget to check. It keeps the career batter versus pitcher stats, so you get to find out like how is Mo Vaughn hitting off of Mike Mussina for his career from this point on. So it's pretty cool. I like doing that. Face gen, I got that set up. A1 settings, we got that done. We've got that all done. All right, almanac. I archive this. Let's go league settings. Okay. I changed this to it's always I'm gonna change that. You can change that to Indians if you want to. I know that bugs some people, but all right, rules. We got the DH rule, expanded roster rule in there. Okay, good, good, good. What else do I want to keep and not keep? Rule 5 draft. We'll keep this stuff here. Um, all right, so big one here. So amateur draft. Okay, so this is kind of up to you how you want to do this now. But personally, I'm trying to make this, somewhat, realistic. Now you can have a draft and you can draft the real guys to come in 96 and you know how they're going to be. Um, or you can have it where they go to the original team and do that stuff. So I'm gonna disable amateur draft, okay? And what's gonna happen is the new rookies will show up with their real teams, okay? So once again, it's you know who you're going who's coming into um your organization. You can still play it the other way too. Once again, personal preference. For this one here, I want Nomar to show up for the Red Sox. I think he 95. He may be, yeah, he's not in the organization yet. Fire Left Fire Baseball. But I want Nomar to show for the Red Sox. I want pick another Red Sox farmhand 95 on. I want Dustin Majority to show up as a Red Sox when I get to that point. Um, okay, so we're doing it that way. All right. Trading, we're gonna have trading though. We're gonna have, and that's the part. Now, um, I'll get to that in a second. We'll have the trading financials. We've got the financials on there. Same kind of routine. Entire revenue for available. I do it that way. You can do owner decides too. If you want to do owner decides budget, you can. That's up to you. But you're relying on the owner and not someone do entire revenue available. Once again, your thing. Um, Here's my awards. I changed these up. This is a Gold Gloves. I guess it's a copyright. You can't have a Gold Glove award. I have no idea. Um, this is Silver Slugger. That must be copyrighted too. So I put that in there. I'm not doing spring training. I don't do spring training. Um, 95. Where's 95 All Star game? 95 All Star game. Where was the 95 All Star game? Why am I blanking on that? 1995 All Star. Let me quick Google. 95 All Star game. What do I not know where that? Oh, it's in Arlington. I don't remember that. I don't like. I don't remember the 95 All Star game. It totally slips my mind. I can't even picture it. That's weird. All right, so we're doing this. We're doing the actual schedule. We're gonna allow rainouts. I like having a little, some variation to things. Boom, boom, boom. Come down here. I just changed this up. LDS and the LCS. All right, players. We're not having any kind of international. We're not having any fictional guys in this. So we're straight. All guys are historical. All right, so now we're going to this. Expansion draft. I don't know what to do. It's 25. You get to take 25 guys in your team in the expansion draft. And the expansion draft comes up again in 98, so that's important. All right, so here we go. So we have the the player development disabled. Say that 3 times. But we're going to recalc after each year. All right. So each year we're going to recalc it and we're going to double weight the current year stats and the potentials based on the remaining career. Okay, to do so. Automatically import historical rookies. Boom. Okay, I disable them until draft, which means they'll go to their teams. All right. Also, let me go back to financial free agent thing. There is no compensation. Okay, so there's no compensation for lost free agents because we have no draft. Okay, so you can't do that stuff, which is fine. Stats AI. I like kind of doing this, and it automatically adjusts league strategy when advancing next season. Okay, so we'll go through the whole history of baseball. Okay, so I'm done pretty much. Now, what this does? Okay, so a couple things. So it takes the guesswork. Now, running a team it should be easier, right? I mean, because I know, like for instance, I know that Movon is going to have about 3 years left of being a great player. Okay. So if I go to Movon, all right, his contract, he's got arbitration contract. Okay. So um, he's going to be a free agent. Um, he's an arbitration. So let's do this real quick. All right, so let's do Clemens first. All right, so Roger Clemens comes to free agent after 96 seasons, like in real life. All right, and of course Dan Duquette says he's in the twilight of his career, which he was not. Now, listen, Dan Duquette was like a moron at the time, but I know Roger probably did a few things to make him better, but he messed that up. Well, I know that Roger Clemens is going to be great for a bunch more years. Okay, and also, the rest of the league knows that too, because if you look at his kind of peak seasons career, that's in there. So obviously, it's a no-brainer that I'm going to try to sign him long term. Okay, um, Mo Vaughn right here. Now here's a good idea. 98, Mo Vaughn becomes a free agent. Okay, he has a really good 98 season. Ron Juckett will tell you that right now. Ron Juckett's playing the 98 Stratomatic season. He's unreal. Okay, so I got to make a decision now. I can let him walk, but whoever gets him is going to get a great move on for 98. But obviously, if it's a long-term deal, if it's not going to be pay out. You're going to get one good season. But that happens a lot with players. You got to make a decision. Well, you know what? I'll eat. It'll be worth it. It'd be crappy 99 and 2000. I'll get a 98 season out of them. Okay. So all these things. So it makes it easier to be the GM. Okay, but it makes it more fun with your players too, and you see people get traded. And you'll see trade and you can make trades and so forth and kind of do that idea too. And there's also guys too who have like a bad year. Like you might get a guy, I mean, who has, let's just say he has an MVP year 98 and 99 and 2000. He's below average. In 2001, he's pretty good. In 2002, he's pretty good. In 2003, he's great. Okay. And he's a free agent. I mean, what do you do? I mean, so you're sitting there knowing, oh, I'm getting a guy, and I'm going to get all this money to him, but he's going to have two kind of bad years. So it's another cool way to play. And this way, you can sit there and there's some variation because they can get injured during the season, miss some time. They can be on different teams, different situations, and it plays like a replay game, throughout the career. And you know more than you would normally know, but the AI should know it too. The AI should know that Roger Clemens is going to be really good for a long time. The AI should know that Mo Vaughn is going to go off a cliff after 98 season. And so it's cool to see how that thing works in there. So I don't even know. I mean, like if I want to move on right now, I want to give him a long-term deal. I'm going to see if I gave him offer a contract extension. Okay. He doesn't want an extension right now. I'm not in my last contract year. Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes they want to go ahead and sign it. Let's see if Let's see who else is here. Canseco. All right, so Jose Canseco. Like I forgot what he after 98. Like so, let's take like his real life stats. So after he leaves the Red Sox in 95, okay. So 96, he has a 20 homer year. He's good in 97. He's good in 98. He's good in 99. Okay. He pretty much is done. 99 is his last good year. Okay. So um what does he want? All right. So what does he want? Oh, not a correct. That's not what I wanted to do. Ah, I think it's Sego. Where are you, Jose? All right, let's go ahead and do Jose. All right, so Jose wants a 5-year deal. Okay. He wants 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Okay, now in 2000, he's horrible. Okay. But I would probably, if I had the money, I don't even, I gotta look at my money. Okay. But I would probably make that deal, right? You're getting Jose Canseco. You're getting 4 good years out of 5. So I would go ahead and make that deal. But I know in 2000, he's making 5.5 million and he's going to be absolutely dog doo doo. But that's kind of what happens in real life Major League Baseball too when you're trying to figure out you pay for the back ends and always works out well. But at least you know up front on that end what it is. Now I guess with my front office my money is by the way. So I've got 11 million. I got 17 million for extensions, 11 million right now. Um, okay, so I've got Eric Hansen. Now Eric Hansen, I forgot what he did. So you can look at the real life stats and kind of see what I want to do here. So um, 95 he was great. 96 okay, he's horrible. Like okay, he is horrible after this year. Okay, like he's pretty much done. Okay, so I'm not going to extend him. Does he? What does he want for a contract extension? He wants a 5-year deal. So he's not getting that. Okay, so this is kind of feel like it's cheating in a way. Okay, but he's not getting that. Now, um, you know, he wants a 9-year contract. God, more. Look at that. He wants a 9-year deal. I don't blame Eric Hansen. He knows he's done. Okay, so um, I could trade him. Let's see what trade offers I get. So the trade people I get are not going to be great because even though in 95, the year he's having a great year right now, um, you know, they know he's not like Tom Gordon, for example. I bet you Tom Gordon is a free agent of the year. Yeah, so he's a free agent. So they're willing to trade you Tom Gordon, 95 Tom Gordon for 95 Eric Hansen because they know Tom Gordon's a free agent and they better deal that deal because what does Gordon do in 95? I mean, Gordon wasn't as good in 95 as he was. So it's pretty cool. They're not going to offer you, the idea. David Wells, okay, from the Tigers. He's a free agent of the year. Okay, so they're going to offer you guys like that because they know too. They see in terms of the ratings that he's going to fall off a cliff too. Okay, um, so he's a guy that I would not extend. So it's an easy decision. So that way it's easy and it's kind of cheating in a way I guess you can say because you know too much. But once again, why it's why you're playing the game. Like, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve the hard GM way and not knowing if Eric Hansen will be really good. If you have the talent development engine take over, he could become Rory Halladay in his later career. He could become Roger Clemens later in his career. Um, Roger Clemens could be done after 96, if he did the other way. He's not. So those are all things to kind of look at. Alejandro Pena is a free agent, okay? Look at his remaining career. He's pretty much done, so you're not going to extend him, so you're looking around. So really Canseco, Mike McFarland, I don't think he did much. Um, after 95, what did he do? He had a good year, 96, and that was it. So if he wants a 1 year deal, maybe I'll do it, but I doubt he wants a 1 year deal. Let's take a look. He knows he's going to suck too. He wants a 3 year deal. Um, no thanks on that. And I also know who's coming in terms of um, guys who are free agents. Um, Jefferson, okay, it's got 3 years in his deal left in here. You can see that stuff happening. So, like, it's a cool way to play. It's one more cool way to play, and it's a way to play in that there's Tim Wakefield down there's Timmy. Gotta click on Timmy. We miss you, Timmy. It's a cool way to play because it kind of has the elements of a replay season of guys performing how they're supposed to perform with some variation in there because you can have some injuries to pop up during the season, not long-term injuries. And then you're going to have player movement. You're going to have people get traded, and their season they're supposed to have. You know, if I traded Canseco right now, if Canseco goes to free agent or if he stays in Boston, you know, all those things. David Ortiz. Okay, wherever David Ortiz is right now. Um, here's a good example. So Ortiz, he's on the Mariners somewhere. He's not in there yet. Um, yeah, Ortiz. So he's gonna pop up with the probably with the Mariners or the Twins, right? And so you know what he's gonna be. What about Pedro? Here is Pedro. Okay, and the Expos. Okay, you know he's in arbitration right now. Um, let's see if I can trade for him. Okay, so I can add something to him. So I mean, you can add something. I'll add um, Frankie Rodriguez. Okay, so I could do that. So here's a cool thing. Don't even tell you right now. Okay, here's my trade reputation right here. If I offered this deal to them, my trade reputation is going in the crapper because they're going to say, "What a moron you are for or trying to stiff up like that." Now, if I offered them, you know, some guys who are, Clemens maybe, you know, but they want Clemens though because of the fact he's a free agent. So all those things. So anyway, so it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna play this out 95. I'll probably check in the channel a few times, but this is kind of one more cool way to play out of the park baseball, so you can have the players perform the way you want them to play. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.